Hello, everybody. Welcome to Silent Podcast, the place for everything but silent. I'm host Isaiah, and we're here to talk Total Drama Island. I'm here with one of my favorite people to talk about TDI and all these kind of competition reality shows with, Gia Worthy. Gia, how are you doing tonight? It is 9:12, and we are crazy enough to rank Total Drama winners.
I am so when you texted me like we're ranking Total Drama winners, I didn't even have to think about whether or not I was going to do this. It has been so long since we have talked about Total Drama Island. I think it's been about a year since the season aired in the US, the most recent season, like give or take some time in there. And this is just a show that I'm never going to get sick of talking about, doing fan casts for like what players I would love to see return in the future, talk about seasons past, this most recent reboot. Total Drama is never going to be getting old for me. I am so excited to actually try this out and see where we all fall with our winner rankings.
Yeah, me too. So it was just for context for anyone who's watching at a later date. So it was me and Gia, and then our friend Tim. Fortunately, couldn't come tonight. It's all right. We're still going to incorporate his points. But I had all three of us send in a list of all 14 winners, not counting Redonkulous Race. No Redonkulous Race winners in here, but all people who have won Total Drama proper, and to list them from best to worst. So best would be the highest. That would calculate to 14 points because you're the top of the 14 people. And if you're under that, number 2 means you get 13. Number 3 means you get 12, so on and so forth. And then bottom, you only get 1 point. I take all those lists and then I combine them, and then I calculate how much numbers, and that will ultimately decide based off of numbers who we think are the best people. We might not all agree. We might agree. Who knows? But listen, before Big Brother, Survivor, and all that stuff, I got into Total Drama Island, and I was super into it, and I still am. And I can never stop covering it. So I'm really excited to do this. This is definitely a passion pod, and I enjoy it. So Gia, do you have any questions before we get started?
No, I'm actually really excited to see. I think our top rankings are going to be very similar. I will say that. I think there are some players that we are just in agreement are goated. Like it may not be the exact same, like 1, 2, 3, but it's going to be kind of in the same range. Whereas I'm more excited to see kind of like what the mid to bottom rankings are, because I think that's where we're going to get some of the surprises. And one of the great things about Total Drama to me is that some of the wins are so nonsensical, but still super enjoyable. So I feel like the way I would rank a Total Drama Island winner or a Total Drama winner versus a winner of like Survivor or Big Brother might be totally different in here. And that's just what's going to make it more fun. Like the more nonsensical and fun we have with it, the better. So I can't wait to get into it.
All right. Listen, I think we should just jump into it. We have a lot of people to talk about. Before I reveal we're going to start from the bottom and work our way to the top, right? Yes. Gia, who do you think is our bottom winner, the worst winner ranked on all of our list?
See, I think some of the people, because Isaiah, you and I once did a ranking of just our favorite players. Like we ranked every Total Drama player besides the new era people because we didn't know them yet.
Yeah.
I feel like you and I are on the same page about a lot of the players that we really like from the Total Drama universe. And I feel like some people are going to be surprised about where some of these winner rankings are, right? Like, and maybe I'll be surprised too. But this is hard. I think I'm going to say for our bottom pick, this person was not my lowest ranking. I will say that. So I'll just prepare for it. But I think maybe Beth. I think that's a much maligned winner. And realistically, I actually don't hate Beth's win. I think the major problem with Total Drama Action in particular is that I feel like the final 2 that we got is just not the final 2 that people were hoping for in that season. I think there were other players that people were more excited to see potentially get to
Mm-hmm.
the final two. And I don't necessarily think it's Beth or Duncan. So I personally would have loved to see like a Lindsay Harold final two,
Mm-hmm.
Harold, Lindsay Courtney, something in that iteration. So I'll go with Beth. I think that's probably one of the more controversial winners that we've gotten.
Gia, so yesterday when I did the Big Brother winners ranking,
Mm-hmm.
I had Katie and Janelle do that with me, and they were wrong like every single time. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see, because you are correct. Our
Oh
first
my
winner
God,
is
really?
Beth, the only winner with single digits in votes
Oh my
for
God. Well, let
between
me
me,
hold on.
you,
Let
and
me see where
him.
I put her.
I'll
Okay,
tell you. I'll let you know. I'll let you
I
know.
actually I had the list I texted to you. I had her in 12 out of 14. So
You
that
did.
makes sense.
So you had her at 12.
Mm-hmm.
I had her at 13. And Tim had her at 13 as well. So we're all around the
Ooh,
same
okay.
area about Beth. Beth was such a random winner for me when I
Yeah.
watched this originally. And maybe I should go back and watch TDA. I will say Total Drama Action, hot take, is my least favorite season of Total Drama Island, because
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of thought it got stale and gimmicky after a while.
Yeah.
But this definitely was the least profitable winner between her and Duncan. To me, I thought Beth had, me being the strategy guy and like the entertainment and
Yeah.
the drama, she had like none of that for me. Like, her friendship with Lindsay was fine, but like she didn't give me winner. Like, she just
Yeah.
didn't really do much. She was just like, I have a boyfriend and that's
Mm-hmm.
it. Like, there's a lot of people who defend Beth actually on social
Yeah.
media for her win and feel like she deserves a lot more credit. I'm not one of them. And, that's not spreading hate to Beth. I just
Yeah.
didn't see it. I didn't understand it. And it
Yeah.
just wasn't for me. So that's why I ranked her low.
See, I think there are some wins in the total drama universe that make me annoyed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beth is not one of them. I
Right.
actually don't mind Beth as a winner. I
Right.
just think the storyline of total drama action barely covers Beth. And sometimes we get surprise winners where it
Mm-hmm.
kind of feels a little fun. Like, okay, yeah, this person could win. We have a couple examples of that
Mm-hmm.
in some of, I think, maybe like some other seasons that I'm excited
Mm-hmm.
to talk about here. But Beth to me doesn't just make a lot of sense. I think what would have been even just one quick fix that total drama could have done here that I think would have made the season stronger and the winner stronger is that
Mm-hmm.
if instead of Lindsay accidentally voting herself off here, that Lindsay accidentally voted out Beth here
Yeah.
instead. And that like the remaining part of her arc would be something along the lines of like her trying to make up for the fact that she voted out her bestie in the season, because we know friendship is really important to Lindsay. I
Mm-hmm.
think the Lindsay win would have been better. I'm not really a Duncan fan as
Mm.
much as a lot of people are. Like, he's
Okay.
fine as a character. He's just not my personal preference of a player either. So I just think Total Drama Action could have given us a stronger contender of winners, of finalists, really. So I think it's partially storyline, partially that Beth just wasn't the best candidate for a winner in here. So I'm not shocked that she's our lowest ranked winner, even though she was not my lowest ranked winner. Like, there are wins that I genuinely hate to like this was just not an enjoyable finale to me, and
Yeah,
Beth's win is not that.
it's not.
No.
So there you go. Beth, the only winner on our entire list with only single digits with 7 points, is number 14 for our winners ranking. It
Yes.
seemed like us three were all on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Mary says her social game was better than us. Listen, I need to do my rewatch of
Yeah.
Action. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It
will
is.
say that I agree with, I think Beth's social game and like what the final challenge was, totally get how they justify her win. It's just
Yeah.
like Total Drama is literally a scripted show. When we talk about the edit in a show like Survivor or Big Brother, that can sometimes play into how people perceive a winner. But this is literally a cartoon. It's like you could literally have written a better story for Beth to justify her win. And I think that's the argument we're trying to make with why we're not surprised that Beth is at the bottom. But again, I'm not mad about her win. This is one of the less offensive wins to me, to be quite honest.
There you go. All right. Let's move on to number 13. So you got the first one right. Let's see if we can continue this train. Yeah. Who is number 13 on our list?
Okay, wait. Let me look at my list because I think I know what direction I'm going to go in.
All right.
I'm going to throw out my last pick for this one. Okay. I'm going to pick the person that I ranked last for their win. And I don't think people will necessarily agree with me, but I will stand strong in that I don't like this win at all. My least favorite winner, and it's close between the bottom two in there, but I put Zoe.
You are wrong.
I am wrong.
First strikeout. You were very close, though. It wasn't Zoe, but was
it Mike?
Her boyfriend, Mike.
See,
is
Mike,
our second least.
Yes. Okay, I get that. Mike was my second least favorite. This was number 13 for me, so this also matches. I would say, listen, All-Stars, like, I hate it. Hot mess. The winners make no sense. The final four makes no sense, quite frankly. And I have a lot of problems with it. I just think that Zoe, in particular, Zoe's my boyfriend could never do this type act was so annoying to get through for as long as it did that I hate her win more than I hate Mike's. But let us not forget, I hate Mike's win. This was an awful final two, and I don't understand why the writers thought that we wanted to see these two in final two. They weren't even particularly interesting as a couple in Pacatow Island.
See, just to get some clarity, so Mike, oh my God, they're literally like this, every time I remember them. Mike literally had 11 points on our list, just to see how they ranked them. I ranked Mike last.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, Gia, you ranked Mike 13th.
Yes.
And Tim actually ranked Mike number 7. So he was a little different from us, yeah. But Mike, so I'm trying to put the All-Star stench aside because, one of my most anticipated seasons, I was so excited. And we just end up with 2 new school players when they really should have just split it up between one old school and one new school. That would have been a lot more interesting. But Mike specifically, I don't have a problem with the character Mike because I actually enjoyed Mike a lot more in his original season. And I don't mind him in his original season. The problem with Mike in All-Stars is that Mike is not present for 90% of the show. They did the whole shtick about Mal, and it's just one of his alter egos because he has, multi-personality disorder. And then we have this whole arc where instead of playing the game, Mike is fighting in his brain with this alter ego and trying to escape the prison. He does not play the game at all, actually. And Mal, if you want to count that as Mike, does a lot of stuff, but Mal also wasn't here to win. Mal was here just to cause havoc and be a bad guy. And it's just Mike, the person, not Mal, but Mike was not here. You know what I'm saying? The Mal plot ate up all of that season, and it had nothing to do with All-Stars. It was just Mike the show, and it was just it wasn't it was so it's kind of hypocritical. This is cartoony, but it was so ridiculous, there was no the other seasons before. It had strategy, it had drama, it had entertainment. There was none of this. It was just oh my God, his multi-personality is going out of control. We have to put a stop to this Mal guy from Juvie.
I mean, All-Stars in general was such a disappointment. This is really, I feel like there were so many opportunities for us to get just some really strong interactions with different players. I wish players like Joe had lasted longer in the game. I think she would have been a great foil for some of these other players. Definitely more entertaining than Mal. I just think they went in the completely wrong direction, picking these two as the final two. And these are the characters we're going to focus on. I think Scott was great for around the placement that he was at. Courtney and Scott were right there for our final two. We could have had it all, Isaiah. We could have had it all.
That could have been the first showmance. I would have been okay with that.
I would have loved a Courtney Scott final
Final
two.
two would
Like,
have been great.
so that it would have been so good. We did not get that. I was very upset that that was not how it worked out. I agree with you in that Mike not being there, like not mentally being there, but also just like the whole multiple personality disorder storyline they made for him was just so poorly done. If you know anything about just mental illness in general, not even his specific type, I think it did a disservice to mental health, like, and mental health advocates, if you want to go like really deep into how it was portrayed, will say that this was really poorly done. I didn't enjoy it, and I have no qualms about Mike being this low because it was a really poorly written finale.
There you go. Really poorly written season in general, but you know, I don't have a problem with Mike the character. I think Mike and Zoe are a lot more tolerable in their original seasons, but
I feel like having Zoe stay kind of like in her, I liked the Zoe we got in Pakatow Island, and I wish we got some of that like pushback with her in All Stars. She's just felt like a doormat the whole time. I wish we got more of her being Pakatow Island. So that would have been my preference.
Agreed.
It was Revenge of the Island. I'm sorry. I keep saying Pakatow Island. That's the Sean and Sky season. My bad.
You know, you're okay. I get the names mixed up all the time. You're all good.
Yeah, that's my bad. The wrong season, but I got the island. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing the island name right.
You are. Listen, it gets lost in the sauce after a while, but
but Revenge of the Island is where Mike and Zoe were in. So
there you go. Yeah. Revenge of the Island. What's
going on,
y'all?
How
y'all doing?
Yeah.
All right, Gia, you got it. You got one right, one wrong. Let's move on to number 12. I want to see who you think is number 12.
You said Tim put Mike at 7.
Yes.
Now, because Tim's not here to like give me a hint about like where is it, but I guess I'll go Zoe again. Okay, this is what I'm thinking, right? Like looking at the list of winners, I think you and me, Isaiah, we have a lot of similar takes with the Total Drama winners, you know, like just knowing what our rankings are of like some of the players that we really enjoyed watching. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna guess. I think there's 2 potential people that it could be in here. And I'm gonna go with Zoe here because I think she has a lot of the same problems in this season that Mike has with his win. Some of the same issues, it being the All-Star season. I don't think they do her character justice here like they had in Revenge of the Island. Mm-hmm. I think there are some wins that are not as satisfying. I think there are still some winners in there that could be considered a little controversial, but I think you and I like those winners. So okay. I think there is a possibility it could be Sky, but I really like Sky's win, so I think my ranking might bump her up a little bit.
Let's see. Real quick, for those who didn't see, Mary, yes, we're ranking every winner. But redonkulous race, just for clarification. Tim was going to be here, but he had an emergency. But we're going to do more Total Drama stuff. But anyway,
sorry, this is my comment in here. We didn't kick Tim out for his placements, just so you know. It's just he was not able to make it tonight. We miss him dearly.
But Gia, I do want to let you know that you were correct.
Yes.
Zoe is our 12th.
Oh, Zoe.
She has 12 points. Just to say where everybody ranked her. So I ranked her number 10. Gia, you ranked her at the very bottom.
Yes, and I stand by that.
Tim ranked her at number 9. So Zoe is me and Tim were around the same area, but you definitely were the dropper, you know what I'm saying? But here we are. Zoe's here.
Has your bottom pick been shown yet, or
Mike. Mike was my bottom pick. One. And then Beth was the one after that.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. All right.
Yeah. But Zoe, is, see, I don't mind Zoe as much as Mike. Unfortunately, after watching the traders, she reminds me of Mora a little bit, where it's just like very oblivious to a lot of the stuff that happens in the game. I think Zoe's biggest beneficiary as a player is her alliances that she's a part of. Usually it's her, Mike, and Cam, and then they kind of do like their little trio thing, and then she tries to spread like her being like this nice person. She has a good social game, right? Like I think that's her best aspect of a player, but like her strategic awareness is very slow, not the best. She's very solid at challenges. I think she's like not, I'm not gonna say she's overall like a good player, but like she's definitely like a middle of the road, the most generic player that could be offered, in my opinion,
Yes.
to Total Drama. So that's why she was in the middle of the road in my rankings, But I would like to. Why do you have her at the very bottom of your list?
I mean, I talked about it a little bit when we were talking about Mike as well, but it's just like it's very. I liked her a lot in Revenge of the Island, right? I really enjoyed watching her. It was a fun. I think she brought kind of her own energy, and I wish they carried that over to All Stars. In All Stars, she was very much Mike's girlfriend that didn't want to believe that he was capable of all of these things. Very like head in the sand about what was going on right in front of her. And I think like her and Mike's placement in my ranking could be interchangeable because Mike was my second least favorite in here, but it just I just really hate what they did to her character this season. They could have gone a completely different route, and I feel like there was nothing wrong with her character in her first season. Like she had her flaws. She was, a little insecure. She wanted to find some confidence, but that's like the type of stuff you want to see in a show, is that like a character finding their confidence. And it was just such a disservice to her. If it had been one season before, like if she had been in the finale of Revenge of the Island instead of Cameron or Lightning, I feel like her ranking would have been higher for me because that characterization was really good.
Yeah, I agree. And every season has like their representative as a winner. So far, this is the first player, in my opinion, where I was like, I prefer Zoe to be the representative of All Stars instead of Mike, because I just really hate Mike's win. So it's picking hairs, but hey, I don't mind her being like a bottom tier winner either. Very generic, very milquetoast. But I think she has her pros and cons. But like, there's nothing extraordinary about Zoe as a player, so I'm okay with her being here. There's not much to talk about with her. Unfortunately, she's a very milquetoast character. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, Gia, you're 2 for 3.
2 for 3. That's actually not bad. I'm very surprised.
There you go. All right. Let's see. Who is number 11?
Okay. I'm gonna pull up my list again.
Okay.
Okay. I'm looking at who I have ranked next.
Okay.
And I don't think both of you ranked this person in the same level that I did for number 11. So I'm not going to pick this person yet. And I don't think my 10 is the same. I think at least Tim probably ranked her differently than me, the number 10. So I'm going to go with who I have at number 9. And that is Sky. I think I love Sky's win, right? I actually love her storyline. And I'll talk about it when we actually get to her if it's not this round. But I think her win is a little more controversial for people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to confirm that you are incorrect.
I am incorrect?
So Sky is not here. Very interesting person here. Our most recent winner, Wayne.
Really?
Lands all the way down to 11. So he has.
Where did you rank Wayne?
I'll tell you. So look, 15 points. I ranked Wayne 12.
Really?
I really like Wayne, but I ranked Wayne 12. He's the winner of the newest season, Mary. You ranked Wayne number 6.
I did.
And Tim ranked Wayne number 12. So very interesting. I think
you ranked him 12?
Yeah, me and Tim ranked him 12. Listen, I'm a big Wayne fan.
Yeah.
I like Wayne, but I think as a player, He was very delusional. and
I
I listen, I think of the final challenge. What are the names of the two people he was with? It's Julia and
You can't even name the third person. It's Caleb, but
and
still,
Caleb.
like,
I did not like Caleb. I was on the train that Julia should have won that season. You know what I'm saying? That was Julia's season. And I feel like Wayne, first of all, the way he won was so wacky because like him, the way
I
he
don't
landed.
care.
But
I love
regardless,
it. I love
regardless,
Tristan.
I feel like Wayne is like Owen 2.0, but he just has like a sidekick. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he has Raj. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Owen and Wayne are like the super ditzy, guy, but like, you're trying to be friendly with everyone, but like they're just like semi good at challenges, like they just do like a lot of like random stuff. They don't really understand what's going on in the game. But with that being said, I mean, I think Wayne's social game is pretty good because people don't mind him. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like Wayne, outside of that, just like Owen to me, doesn't really understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as much as I love Wayne as a character, as a personality, he's one of my favorite winners. As a player, I don't think Wayne has a full grasp.
So you're going into like actual like
I'm deep.
It all. Yes.
I'm deep. You know what I'm saying? But that there you go.
I have to disagree. I mean, I ranked him pretty high because I found his win really enjoyable. And I think Julia's win would have been great. I don't think I wasn't really rooting for a Caleb win. I'll be perfectly honest. I think it was just too much Priya back to back, and I liked Priya.
Agreed.
We'll get into Priya. But I enjoyed Wayne's win, and I think for the reboot, since it was like a very strategy heavy season, and we had kind of more of like a total drama student of the game win the first season of the reboot. I actually really enjoyed having the second person win from the reboot be somebody that was there to have a good time, didn't always know what was going on. He had his buddy. He had a really good arc in season 1 where he was just waiting for Raj to tell him that he was gay because he just wanted to be accepting and stuff like that. I do, however, think that the season would be better if they swapped when Raj and Wayne were booted. So like if we had a Raj win and a Wayne, I think he was fifth. I think Raj was 5th place there. So like a fifth, if Wayne went 5th place and Raj had won, I think that would have been more fun. It would have felt more full circle to me. But I don't hate the Wayne win. I actually really enjoyed watching it. I know a lot of people were very much like, what did he do? What did he like? Why would he deserve to win? No one deserves to win Total Drama, like except Lashana. But like that, and Courtney, obviously. But I really liked his win. I thought it was fun. It was not. I don't need every Total Drama win to be a serious one. I know that there are some people where it's like, yes, we do, like this person deserved their win, and it really feels like they earned their win here. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was refreshing. I like the sprinkle in every once in a while of a winner that's just at the right place at the right time. And he's an enjoyable character to root for, so I think it was not a bad decision to keep him in there for as long as possible.
He was definitely like he's easily one of the most like likable winners, I feel like.
Yeah.
Also, Mary, I see you keep talking about this adventure camp. I've seen that. I haven't watched it. I'm going to give it a shot eventually, if not tonight, because I have nothing better to do tonight.
I'm like, I go back and forth about Disventure Camp.
I've never seen it. But
I've seen parts of it. It doesn't replace Total Drama for me. I know some people will disagree with that, but it's fine.
We'll see. All right. So look, we have our first 4 down. Let's go to number 10. We're at the top 10 now. So Gia, who do you think is number 10?
Do I go with Sky again? I don't know. I'm trying to think who. Now I'm thinking maybe my rankings are the ones that are like the outliers for everything. Could it be Sean? Maybe it's Sean. do Sky one more time, and then I'll switch if this one's wrong. I like
You
Sky. I
are
just don't. Yeah.
incorrect.
Okay. Was it Sean?
So it was Cameron.
That was my
Cameron.
ranking. Oh my god! I think this
There you
is where
go.
I placed him too.
So Cameron has 17 points. Let's see. I ranked him at number 9. You
Okay.
ranked Cameron at number 11. And
Okay.
so one placement below this one.
Okay.
And Tim ranked him number 8. So Cameron is
Okay.
here. You know, Cam is Black Ian Terry to me. I enjoyed Cam a lot for the Big Brother fans. I think Cam is obviously one of the most intelligent winners there are. I think he's very rootable as an underdog, and I think he did pretty well in both Island and All Stars. I think he's a very solid player. The problem with Cameron is that Cameron doesn't have much influence, nor like is fully in the driver's seat with like any of his seasons. Like he kind of has to like go with what's going on. And I'm gonna be fully transparent in my experience of Total Drama. He is not my winner. I count Lightning as my winner. You know, I like Cameron. I think he's a fun character. But you know, the whole shtick of him being like the bubble boy lasts way too long, unfortunately, and it carries on through both seasons. But his winning season alone, I think he had a very solid alliance. I think that he was a team player. You know, he carried his weight with a lot of his knowledge, but like that's about it. Like he still lacks that oomph I'm looking for, but he's not a bad winner at all. Actually, like, I think from honestly the top 10, in my opinion, they're not horrible players. You know, they have their flaws, but like everyone below them, like they're like, huh, like, do they need to win to me? Like, I feel like Cam is the first one. I'm like, he deserved his win. You know what I'm saying? Like, he deserved it. He's not my winner, but he deserved it.
Yeah. See, I think, and if you had asked me 2 years ago, maybe Cameron's win would have been a little higher than how I ranked it.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the reboot, they do a much better job with the black nerd trope with Damien. Yeah. And I think that really does Cameron a disservice. I'm like, wow, they really made him like a full stereotype in there and didn't really elevate him at all to like justify his win. He's obviously smart. He obviously has his moments to shine, but did he really have any influence in the game? Not really. Even the parts where he does well, like win immunity, is because of like Lightning messing something up, or like him like accidentally winning something. And it's not that I don't dislike Cam. It's just too much like hunky-doriness with Mike and Zoe, and then him, and they don't really do anything else with this character, which is a shame because I feel like they really could have done more. And I think we see that with Damien when they have like a black nerd coming out of his shell and being a little more sociable and actually learning to be brave. But like that's the arc that I wanted for Cameron.
Yeah, I do agree with Mary, though. Like, I did like the round where he took Joe out, because Joe was definitely an op, and a great player. I enjoyed a lot of the challenges where like he started helping Mike with his personalities, and it helped their teams like get wins and stuff. Like, it was, Cam's not a bad winner by any means. Yeah. It's just that I think everyone else above him is slightly better. So
I feel like his own like even Joe's boo is in part is like mostly due to Lightning. Like that's the person she's mad at when she gets voted out. And I also just like I and this is not a Cameron specific thing. I don't like that a lot of his storylines are related to the people around him. Like he deserved his own arc. That was not just I'm no longer the bubble boy. Like, why are you no longer the bubble boy? Like, what has happened in this time? Like, he deserved more. He deserved more. He deserved a better characterization than just being the nice nerd. And I think he deserved more complexity than that.
I agree.
We hold our black nerds in the highest regard here. So we deserve more.
There you go. But Cam is number 10. And we're going to move on to number 9. Okay. So Gia, give me your guess.
Oh God. Let's do Sean. Why not? Let's do Sean here. I think his win's interesting. I really like his win, but Pakatoa Island is kind of a mishmash of feelings for a lot of people.
Well, listen, you are incorrect.
Was it Sky?
And yep, you should have stayed on because Sky
I know.
is here
Oh,
and
I'm
she
so
is at
happy to talk
number
about
9.
her.
Sky is actually 1 point above Cameron. So I put Sky at 8. You put Sky at 9,
Mhm.
and Tim put Sky at 10. So around the same area for all three of us. But I feel the same way about Zoe. I think Sky is just like a middle of the road type of player. I think she's overall just like solid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think unfortunately a lot of her storyline was revolved around the one dude. What is his name?
Dave.
The one Dave. I hate
Yeah,
Dave. I can't stand
I
Dave.
hate
But
Dave. He was, I think
yeah,
he was in like our bottom tier
terrible
of
character.
players. So I'm glad we're in a agreement about Dave.
Terrible character. And unfortunately, a lot of Sky's game was plummeting because of this guy, and it was wrapped around. They wanted this to be Zoe and Mike 2.0, and I'm so glad
Mhm.
they made Dave like obnoxious because like I hate Dave. But how you feel about Sky's win?
I love Sky's win. And I think if I was thinking about just like the character in general, I think is very nuanced. And I would, if I'm ranking like my own personal opinions of characters, Sky would be quite high for me. And I like the fact that she is not this like perfect angel that can do no wrong. Like we see in this show that there are times where she definitely could have been a better communicator. I think the thing that really made me not put her in my top half of winners was the fact that she was just so against alliances and never really strayed from that, which I get as like she's kind of like an honor and integrity player, but it just seems kind of silly to be that type of character at this point in the show when we've seen so many seasons of like
Mm-hmm.
alliances going back and forth essentially. But I like that Sky was imperfect. I like that her win is a little messy, and I like that she is able to eventually like stand up to Dave and basically be like, you know, she doesn't owe him anything and she doesn't uh like, you know, she tried to explain things to him and he didn't want to listen. So I really like her as a character. I wish her win had a little, and this is kind of the same thing with Sean, just because of how the episode was structured. I wish their
Mm-hmm.
wins were given a little more time to flesh out because it feels like a blink and you miss it type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's something, and I think Pakatow Island is ranked pretty low for a lot of people. I think Pakatow Island's actually kind of underrated. I think there's a lot of like genuinely funny moments that were so good in the real time. But I think that the season she's on kind of does a disservice for like how rushed her character is. But
Mm-hmm.
I still really enjoy her, and I think that just it's how her win was executed that was not great. But her as a character,
Yeah.
love, and I would love to see her on like a 22 episode season. I feel like she would be so good in another season where she is like given time to grow and shine and kind of come into her own, separate from her relationship with Dave.
Yeah, Skylar unfortunately is on a season, and same. I feel the same with Sean, Jasmine, a lot of those other characters are on a season that's super gimmicky, and I think that the storyline surrounding the island really overtakes the game. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And the gimmicky robots and evil villains, Scarlet, and all, it goes all over the place. So
That
um
this is the season where like the whole island's artificial, right? That's like
yeah,
the
this is like
yeah,
after action. It's this one. Like I'm not the biggest fan. I like the
yeah.
cast, but the gimmicks. This is where Total Drama was starting to lose me a little bit. Where I was just
Mhm.
like, what are we doing here?
Can
Like
I just
Mal and then
yeah,
Pathatem. Like we're losing it.
can I just say
So
something that might make a lot of people mad, but
sure,
I think Sugar's a really good villain. Like
she's a great villain.
she's so
Great.
obnoxiously funny. Like I'm
The
sorry,
Honey Boo Boo. Yeah,
she's so clueless in her humor. I laughed quite a bit with her. I'm sorry. You know,
Sugar
she
is a
was
great
wrong. She was
villain.
wrong for taking out Jasmine when she did, but I still laughed.
She was one of the
Unfortunately,
few players playing the game that
it
season
was
too.
great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed her quite a bit.
All right. Let's get to number 8. So number
Oh, this will be
8.
interesting.
Just to recap, so far it's been Beth,
Okay.
Mike, Zoe, Wayne, Cameron, and Skylar.
Okay. So I feel like Sean is coming up at some point. Where did I rank him? I ranked him pretty high though. I really liked Sean's win. Owen could be coming up. I feel like people like go back and forth with Owen's win. I think that's the thing I'm struggling with right now. It's I'm gonna go Owen because I ranked Owen lower than Sean. I don't know how you guys ranked him, but I enjoy both of their wins. But we'll go with him.
You are incorrect.
Was it Sean?
You're gonna feel a little blindsided by this one, Gia, but
really,
our guy Lightning is here
no!
at number 8.
What is he? What was this? 8?
8 with he is the first player with at least 20 points. So he has 22 points.
Okay.
So I ranked Lightning number 4. Full transparency.
Didn't I rank him?
You ranked him number 5.
Okay.
Which leaves Tim.
What did Tim do?
Number 14. He was dead last on Tim's list. I have questions.
Tim.
I'm a hater. Tim. Tim put Lightning dead last on his list, and I was shocked when I saw it. No pun intended. But I love Lightning. Lightning is one of my top 3 winners. I love Lightning. He's such a fun character. And his win wasn't bad either. Like, this is the comp beast of Total Drama, if you ask me. Like, straight competitions, straight brute. And he played the game the way he wanted to. He wasn't manipulated. Like, I like Lightning's win. And he's not the smartest by any means. His social game is horrible, but he is such a great physical player. And I enjoyed it. It was different, you know? So I'm sad that he dropped.
Lightning is so funny to me. I'm sorry. And I genuinely think the final 2 should have been Joe and Lightning. I think that would have been like the finale, or Joe and Scott.
It's a great villain.
It should have
all 3 of them are fantastic villains.
I think those, and this is the thing that is so underrated about Revenge of the Island, because it's not the first gen cast, right?
Yeah.
The Joe, Lightning, Scott trio is like one of the best in my opinion. Like it's people don't want to hear this, but it's up there with like the team of I forget what the team name was, but in action with like Heather, Duncan, Lashana, and Harold. Like they are that level of funny with each other. And I think sometimes it's just, you gotta have good villains, but I think this could have been a really good villain versus villain finale. And I get
those amazing villains in that season.
I get that we got that in World Tour, right? I totally understand that. However, I think they should have done it again, because the most interesting characters on that season were Joe, Lightning, and Scott. And it should have been that finale should have been some mix up of those 3. I really think so. Yeah. And I think if that was the final 3, Lightning is the hero of that group. And I think he's like a very complex character. He's funny. He actually had, even though he was like very, you already said it, his social game was not good. But I think if we're thinking about how the trajectory of the season goes, some of the highlights of the season, I think that Lightning has so much more impact on the season than Cameron. Like he does a lot in this season, whether intentionally or unintentionally. And so I enjoyed his win. I think they could have given him a better winning finale episode, because they kind of just throw it in there because they felt like they had to at the time. But I really like Lightning's one of my favorite characters in Total Drama history. So this win will always be top tier to me.
Me too. I loved how self-interested and selfish he was with a lot of his decisions. And again, just the competitions, like it was fun. Like he's such
Yeah.
a athletic character, and I was expecting him just to be like another Eva or something, like a guy that is good at comps, but just like gets. I was like, this guy has the makeup of a pre-jury, like so easy, and they finally let one of these people win. And it was just he's a different character.
Yeah.
Now white hair, black hair, I like both of them. I think the white hair's a fun little twist, but I don't mind.
I wish we got him with the white hair longer. Like
In
I
All
think
Stars.
if he was in if his All Stars arc, I wish would have been longer, or if we ever had another returnee season that he's one of the characters we bring back. Because I think maybe when like the fandom was first starting to get big, he was one of the more disliked characters. But just based on what I've seen online before, I think his popularity has gone up in recent years. I think like
Great winner.
We'll talk about it with some of our other winners as well, but I think their popularity has taken a different trajectory just based on the times that we are in. Like characters like Lightning get a little more praise for how funny and complex and villainous they are, and some of the characters that we're supposed to look at as heroes are maybe a little more annoying and a little more selfish and a little more like the actual villains of their season. And we'll talk about a few of them in here. So I'm excited about it.
All right, let's move on
I'm
to
so
number
sad about that.
7. I
thought Lightning was going to be like top to like at least top 6.
You see where we ranked them?
I know. I thought he was top 5. Tim.
Even if
you're not even here to defend your actions.
All he got to do is not put him dead last. He went pretty well, but like
that's so sad. All right, well, we have. If you want to see Lightning get a lot of praise, watch the episode where Isaiah and I rank every player because Lightning is ranked quite high. We love Lightning, so I'm glad we get to give him his praise though.
Let's go number 7.
It's gotta be Sean or Owen. Do we do maybe Sean? I don't know where you guys ranked Sean. I'm curious. Actually, wait. Those two are such a toss-up for me. I don't know where people would rank them. Let's do Owen. Why not?
You are correct.
Yes!
Owen is here with 23 points. Number 7. I ranked Owen number 11. You ranked Owen number 8. Tim ranked Owen number 3. So very different. I had a towards the bottom, towards the middle.
This is the type of reaction though I was expecting with Owen, right? Like this is the type of like he's about a middle tier winner for a lot of people because some people love his win and some people hate his win. I am of the opinion, and I am very confident in this. And when I say this, I'm of the opinion that he is a great first winner of the show. We'll get into Gwen. I don't think her win is really rootable in the grand scheme of things. And I feel like Owen is like a very inconsequential, fun winner. You can't help from root for him. He's kind of the mascot of season 1 and really like the mascot of the series. His returns are very inconsequential as well. It's just, and again, like even though we're analyzing this like the Survivor and Big Brother and like strategy game enthusiasts that we are, we have to remember that Total Drama is indeed a kid show. Like it is a cartoon. And this is a very fun winner for me. I do not hate his win. I think that's actually for the first win of the series, the first win that I saw, because he was the winner in the finale that I watched. Like this is a very good win for the show and like a very good win to like kick off the franchise.
To make this show what it is, this win was huge. Yes. Owen to me is my winner. Do I think he played a great game? Absolutely not. But he's very likable and he's very safe. And I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason why Owen performs fairly well in action to a degree. I'm shocked they didn't bring him back in All Stars. I think Owen is just
That
a
does surprise
very yeah. He's one of the few I was shocked they didn't bring back. But Owen is just safe. And just like I said with Skylar, I ranked them around the same. I think Owen is just a very middle of the road, safe kind of player. It's just like his social game is horrible, yet it's good at the same time. His competitions are horrible, yet he wins a lot of competitions. And I think his strategy is non-existent, yet he's constantly being brought in as in like huge moves or alliances when he's needed, like one with Duncan and DJ. Heather tries to weaponize him. You got Gwen, like Duncan. I mean, Owen is constantly in the mix in this season, and he's not the brightest bulb in the box, but it works out. This is a very safe winner for the first one, and he's likable, and I think that's what helps. I remember even in the finale of the season where it was like one half for Gwen and one half for Owen. Owen had a large amount of people in his corner, and it's because people liked them. And then there was also the parties, but people like them.
Yes.
So hey, I don't hate Owen. I didn't. I'm shocked he's this high though. I thought it was gonna be a lot lower, but
I will say, what is this, 7?
Double check. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not. I think this feels about right for Owen. Some people love it, some people hate it. He's right in the middle. That makes sense to me. Yeah. I think one of the things that makes Owen a great character is that he bounces off a lot of other characters. Like, you just provided so many examples in all the different seasons that he's there, that like people can work with him, even if we know he's not going to win any future seasons because he won the first one. He's still a fun character to work with. He was on Redonkulous Race as well. I thought he was a fun character in there too, even though I would say it was more about Noah in that pair for that season than Owen. He's just a good character to bounce off of. It's not a character that you can really hate, and I don't get tired of him being on the show. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, but he's just a fun character to have included on here. So
agreed.
Yeah, I'm not really an Owen hater. I enjoyed his win quite a lot, so this is good to me. This feels right.
There you go. All right, it's number 7. Let's go to number 6.
Okay, so who do we have left? We have, I've been saying Sean. We have Gwen. We have Heather, Alejandro, Duncan, and Priya. That's the 6 that are left, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say it's probably going to be some mix of Priya, Sean, or Gwen, just based on where I think people did their rankings. I'm going to say this next one is Sean. I think it's time.
And you are correct. Sean. This is my winner, and personally for Pothetail Island.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, 2 more points than Owen, 25.
Okay.
Number 6. I ranked Sean at number 5. So he hit my top 5. You ranked him number 4. And Tim ranked Sean number 11. But I like Sean. I think Sean was a breath of fresh air as well. I think that the little survivalist thing, it was giving like he was going to be a pre-jury flop for the longest time because the zombie shtick was a little awkward, but when it came down to it, especially towards the end of the game, challenge-wise and stuff, like, it really came in handy. And I liked the different take. Like, he was also a very rootable character. He had a showmates with Jasmine. I like Sean. I thought Sean was fun, and I thought that he was a solid player. So that's why he's up here.
I'm glad you said that because I think I agree with you on Sean as a character. I think is really strong. It's definitely different than what we've had in the past. Like, is it gimmicky? Yes, but it's still a fun character to follow along with. Definitely did not expect him to go that far, but I think this is the season for him to go far because it's made up of so many caricatures. Mm-hmm. And I really try, and you also have to think about it. I think this season aired when like Walking Dead was at its like most popular, or around
Mm,
when it was the most popular. So it kind of feeds. It's like similar with Anna Maria in Revenge of the Island. She was on when Jersey Shore was really big.
sure.
So they kind of make those pop culture references in there. I think he's a fun character. He has some really strong moments throughout the season. And I love his relationship arc with Jasmine. I think they're my favorite. I think I've said this before, but they're my favorite couple on Total Drama.
Hmm.
Like on the whole show. Bowie and Raj, might be coming for their crown a little bit, but they're still pretty high. Those two pairs are close in how much I like them. And but yeah, I think they're both like I think they're just a really good duo. They weren't perfect. They had some miscommunication as we got towards the finale and in the finale episode, but they were able to work through it. It was a good foil to like a healthy relationship, able to work stuff out with Sean and Jasmine versus the unhealthy relationship of Sky and Dave. And I think that Sean overall, like in the beginning, I never would have placed him as the winner. And once we got to the end, I think that like it made sense that he was the winner of the season. I think he was the win that I saw when I watched it too. And it felt right. It felt right to me that he won.
Agreed. And there you go. Sean, number 6, just missing the
Yeah.
top 5, but well earned
Oh,
win. He was my winner for Pop the Tail, but we have our top 5 now.
yep. All right. We are in top 5. This is hard. So I think of my rankings. We have
Mm-hmm.
5 left.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I'm trying to figure out what you two did. Because I know who is. Okay. I think of who is left. I think the next one is Gwen. It could be Priya. But I think with my rankings, Gwen is probably. I think there's a chance Gwen is next on here.
You are correct. Gwen is here. She had 26 points, one more point than Sean. Let's see. I ranked Gwen number 7. You ranked Gwen number 10. Tim ranked Gwen number 2. So he
Yeah,
held
this is Tim's fault.
he held Gwen and Owen's number 1 win very high at 2 and 3. But Gwen is here, and Gwen is such an interesting character, and I was struggling to rank her. I was like, don't want to rank just her win or her as a player, because she has such a roller coaster trajectory, where her first season, if we're just talking about her original win, is not that impressive, because she did not want to be there for 90% of the show,
Right.
did not try to win anything or be active, but she had a showmance with Trent. She had her alliance with like Lashana and sometimes Duncan. And, she had a social game, right? But she was not trying to win literally up until like the finale, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, which is hilarious. But then you look at her throughout the rest of her total drama career. Action, it was just a love story. And then you want to look at World Tour, that was really a love story. And then All Stars was just her trying to redeem herself because of her actions in World Tour. The rest of her career in total drama is strictly about her relationship with Duncan, Courtney, and Trent. The rest of it is just like all over the place. But she's not a bad player. I mean, she wins competitions sometimes. She's smart. She's strategic. It's just like when she actually decides to do things, is the problem. But she's shown the ability to rally votes. Like she can
Yeah.
do it when she wants to. She can make alliances. She's not a bad player. It's just like she doesn't try. So that's why I had her more towards the middle. But I'm not mad at her being top 5. I personally wouldn't have put her here.
Yeah, I know why she's top 5, right? Like, I'm not arguing that, like, that shouldn't happen. I don't enjoy Gwen as a character. I don't enjoy Gwen as a winner. This is a very 2000s win to me. And I say that derogatory. Like, I think some things age much better. I think like an Owen win feels very early 2000s, but it's funny. He's the funny guy. That's not a win people get mad at. I think if we had to have a one man, one woman finale, and that seemed to be the formula up until Revenge of the Island, it should have been either Heather or Lashana in her place, because those are the ones that really feel like the contenders as we get to the end of that season. They actually try. Gwen's whole arc is very like, I'm too cool for this, but I happen to just have everything go my way, which is very like, this is the character we must have you root for. But she doesn't try for anything. I agree with you about her relationships in the next few seasons, but the thing that really annoyed me about her was in All Stars, where she was just so adamant that she like didn't do anything wrong in World Tour, but she still wanted Courtney's approval. I'm like, girl, Courtney does not like you, and I don't like you because if Courtney doesn't like you, then I don't like you. Like, I'm sorry, we ride with Courtney. That's my crazy queen. So, she's just not a rootable character. I think even her win in general just does not age well. It's like, this is a character that's this is the type of character that's very popular in the time that it aired and does not age well, because these are not the characters that we really root for. It's not the character that just happens to be there and is nice and gets everything they want just because they're nice enough. And she's honestly not even that nice, because she does all this other fucked up shit in their other seasons. Like, I'm sorry, this is not a character that I root for. I'm very happy with, I have no reason to keep her in, like, to rank her highly. I am very comfortable with her being 10th. I honestly debated putting her beneath Cameron, who I believe was my 11th place one, and I switched it last minute. And or I think there was who was it that I had? I almost switched her and Cameron, and who I had ranked one lower than me. I'm just not a Gwen fan, and I think like when in the rewatches I've done of Total Drama, her other season, like in like this first season in particular, the win just feels very forced. It's not super entertaining in the long run, and it's not the character I want to see at the end. I think like pretty much that whole final, pretty much everyone from like Jeff onwards, I would even throw DJ and Lindsay in there, have like have more rootability in the grand scheme of things than Gwen.
Yeah, honestly, I don't hate Gwen. I actually like Gwen. I want to like Gwen more, but like her character is completely destroyed in World Tour in All Stars. But I enjoyed her in Action and Island. I will say, Gwen is a strong player though, and this has sparked me. We should definitely do a best players never to win list at some point.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
That'll be so much more interesting with the amount of options there are out there.
Yes.
To see what happens. But
that would be a good one.
Different stream for another day. All right. So number 5. Let's go with number 4. And I actually don't have the photo pulled up yet. I got caught up in the Gwen talk. So who do you think is number 4?
Okay. I'm pretty confident in who the top 2 are.
Interesting. Okay.
But now, Tim's thrown me for a loop a couple times in here, so we'll see. I'm going to say what I did, and then I'm going to say what I think the actual results are. I ranked Duncan pretty middle of the road. I do not care for him as a character, even though I think like his first 2 seasons, his win is fairly solid. And then I ranked Priya 3.
Wait, no, I only want to know who you think is the next one.
No, I know, but I'm telling you what I did for like who I ranked, and then what I think the next. So I ranked Duncan below Priya. He's pretty middle of the road for me, but I think other people will have Priya above Duncan. So I'm gonna say that Priya is the next one that we have.
You are incorrect.
Is it Duncan?
It is Duncan, winner of Total
Okay.
Drama
I
Action.
should have stuck with what
Duncan.
my ranking was. All right.
He is 1 point above Gwen. So Sean was 25, Gwen was 26, Duncan is 27. But Duncan, I ranked him number 6. You ranked Duncan number 7. And Tim ranked Duncan number 5. So we were all around the same area
Yeah.
for Duncan. You know, I think Duncan is actually one of the better strategists in Total Drama. But usually his strategy is a lot effective on the seasons that he didn't win, which is interesting. But he's led plenty of votes. He successfully voted out a lot of people. He usually does the all guy alliance, and it usually works out for a majority of the time. His alliance with Courtney comes in handy. Duncan and Gwen, like Duncan is a very good social gamer as well as strategist, and he's not bad at competitions. I think it's a mixture of being unlucky sometimes as well as just like him kind of like giving up in World Tour and trying to go like off the grid, like that kind of hurts his ranking for me a little bit. But I think Duncan is a fantastic player. I think he's easily one of the best players in Total Drama. And it's kind of funny, like I low-key think maybe outside of World Tour, I honestly think that Action is like his second weakest game, and he won that which is really interesting. Like there's a good shot he wins All Stars had it not been for the nonsense that they were trying to force on us with Mal. I like Duncan though. I think Duncan's a great player and a fun character. I like him. I enjoy him.
I think Duncan is a strong character and a solid winner. I agree. I don't know if this is the season for him to win. Again, like we've already talked about some of the other options I think would have made for like a stronger final 2. And I don't know. I feel like this is another one where it's like they have us like him because we're just supposed to like him. Like this is the character you're supposed to root for because he's not Heather, because he's not Courtney, it's like the least objectionable option. But I like the Heathers and Courtneys of the world. So this is not necessarily my pick for the person to root for in here. He's a guy's guy. I get that. I loved his relationship with Courtney in season 1. Kind of goes all over the place from there. I hate his relationship with Gwen. I feel like that just really brings down his character. It's just like not interesting to me whatsoever. And I hate the love triangle too. But his actual win, it almost feels like he is there because of Courtney's actions more so than his own in action. And I feel like it would make more sense for him to win like Island or depending on even if All Stars had taken a different route, like, yeah, I could see him winning All Stars. I see your point. Action kind of feels like the season he least deserved to win. But then, of course, that is the season he wins.
Yeah, I thought the final 2 for Action was very random. But I even think like even if we want to take it all the way back to season 1, the dodgeball challenge, the way he organized the entire team to get the win, like he is a great leader. I just think that they just chose the most random season to give. Like Action is such a random season. I'm sorry, that's why I don't like it. There's like not a cohesive story. But Duncan's a great player, very deserving of top 5. So makes sense. All right. Let's go with third.
Third place has to be Priya. It could be another person, but I feel pretty strongly about Priya being third.
You are correct. Priya is our next winner. The first winner of the rebooted series with 33 points. Our first player with 30. So 33 points. So I ranked her number 3. You ranked her number 3. And Tim ranked Priya number 6. So Priya is here. Priya is easily the most like rigged character ever. Like she has plot armor like a motherfucker. Like this character was literally created to be the safest character ever created for Total Drama, whose parents trained them to be a winner on this, knows how to win every competition, is aware of every twist, has a good social game, has a good alliance, even though her alliance member sucked. like Priya, and did very well on the second rebooted season too. Like Priya is such like it was impossible to make this character not win a season. She was literally
Yeah.
created just to win. Like she's a little like she lacks substance in her win. I think she's a better written character the second time around, but that doesn't take away from her game. Like she's just such a
Yeah.
dominant player because she was literally created to win Total Drama. They were like, look, we're coming back after some years. Let's just make this easy for our audience. And I'm not gonna lie, I think Priya made the season a little boring for me. I enjoyed the second rebooted than the first one. But nonetheless, she's a fantastic player. Like, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Priya, I
Yeah.
can't take away from like she smokes almost every single person in every single facet, stats wise,
Yeah.
on the chart. So she is easily like top 3. It makes no sense why this character was created, but here you go.
Yeah. Can I be like fully honest in what I think would make Priya a better character? Second season, switch her and Millie's placements, or her and Bowie's placements. Like she did not need to go far both seasons. And I agree that
so far
she went, but the win makes sense, right? I think like this, her not making final 3 on the first season would make less sense than her making final 3, right? Like there's just it falls in with the character. I still think it's weird that they never really called out, like they made us hate Millie for calling Priya's parents out on their shit in her little notebook, because like Millie was right, first of all. Like that's insane what all the shit her parents put her through. I digress. But I really like her. I think it makes sense I liked this spin they did with it of like, okay, well, if we ever did a reboot, then this is the character, then this is what she's made for. She basically has stage parents, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a really fun character for the Total Drama reboot specifically. Like this is only a character that could exist in this reboot era. However, I think that she would have been stronger if she had been an early boot on one of her seasons, or if she doesn't win season 1 and Bowie is the actual winner, and she has to accept losing something that she's trained her whole life for. And I think that's the thing that would make the season more interesting. But it's actually kind of crazy that of the the main characters of that season, that Julia wins so many immunities, and I don't think Priya wins nearly as many, if any. I can't remember who else won immunities during that season, but in her winning season. And so I think I think there were more interesting ways to go about her character that didn't have to just end with her as a win. But she's a strong winner. She knows how the show works. I found her arc with Millie way more interesting than her arc with Caleb in season 2, of bringing an ally along and then all of this other stuff happening along the way. I just think it would have been, I feel like they could have done more with her. And I think that even if it was her win was in the second season and she lost season 1, there was just other things they could have done to make her more intriguing. She did not have to go far both seasons. And I think that is kind of to her detriment, because it almost cheapens her win a little bit.
Agreed. Yeah, she's just overall on paper and just in the actual show just way too dangerous. But there you go. All right, our final 2 is literally the final 2 for World Tour. Both extremely dangerous players, both super villains, but one of them is number 1 and one of them isn't.
All right.
Who do you think is number 2?
I know what I did. I imagine there could be some wiggle room with this, with how people are seeing the great winners and stuff. I'm not surprised that this is our final 2, because I think they're universally agreed upon to be the strongest final 2 that we have ever had on Total Drama. I would say though that my opinion of it is that probably the most universally agreed upon winner is Heather for the strongest player. of the franchise in all of her seasons. So I'm going to go with Alejandro for number 2.
Oops, hold on, let me see. You would be correct.
Yes.
Big Al is our runner up with 39 points. Me and you both ranked him number 2, and Tim ranked him number 4. So here we go. Al is here. He is our runner up for again, because he's not my winner, even though I think Alejandro is a extremely effective, dangerous player, an amazing all around social, strategically, and physically. And to be honest with you, he's up there with Priya. Like, he's like almost like a perfect player. He just, jury management is terrible, but luckily he doesn't need a jury to win the game. And honestly, he's a little bit better than Heather in a lot of different aspects in terms of stats. But like, I think in my book, Heather outplays Al, and it's okay. I think Al, the way he basically ran World Tour was just wild. Like he's like the male version of Parvati. Like, he was just like flirting with every girl and then getting them voted out and then blindsiding guys and just making alliances and fake deals. And he outplayed Duncan. He outplayed everybody. Like, that was such a dominant season from this one-time player that was not expected. And then he does pretty well in World Tour as well. He just gets outplayed by plot armor in Mal, and unfortunately, he gets played in that season too. But I think Alejandro, easily one of the most dangerous players ever created, if not the most dangerous. And he's so good. Like, I love that they brought this character. He was such a breath of fresh air to the Total Drama series. Great character.
Yeah. I agree. I co-sign everything you just said. But can I add a little, and then addendum to this point? Sure. You said Parvati, right? Like, he's like the male Parvati, and I totally see the comparisons. But his game, and I think this is a thing that sets apart him from Heather in here, is that he almost reminds me of like the Russell Hantz of heroes versus villains, not with the flirting aspect of it, right? But the fact that he benefits from the fact that they have not just played 2 other seasons with him, where Heather does not have that that benefit of the doubt there. And I feel like Heather has more working against her, which is part of the reason why I ranked her so high. And she's one of the only people to see through Alejandro's bullshit in that season. But obviously, these players are not going to root for her because they just spent 2 seasons with her being the villain. Do I think like Heather was not trying to be charming the way that Alejandro was trying to be charming? Yes. But I just feel like it was, and I mean, like, I think in some ways he also gets a lot of, him and Sierra both get a lot of plot armor in their seasons because, like, of course they're going to let the 2 new players go far here because it doesn't make sense to introduce these characters and then make them early boots. But I mean, that doesn't take away from the fact that, yes, he's a very good player. Obviously, this is a cartoon, so they're going to have plot armor to some point anyway. But I just think that there is so much that he did right and so much that was like, I agree with you, it was a breath of fresh air to get some new players into the mix here. But I like him more as like a secondary, like a foil to Heather and like the second placer of the season versus the outcome where like he is the winner of the season and Heather is the runner up. Like it just doesn't make sense to me, like Heather winning that season makes sense.
Like, even usually when they have the alternate versions, they're at least like something that like are like when Owen lost to Gwen, it's because he ran past the thing, right?
Yes.
In this, both versions, Heather like out manipulates him and smacks him down the volcano. It's just that the way that Al wins is that she throws the wrong one, but like he still got outplayed by Heather. You know what I'm saying? I think that speaks volumes to me. Which is why I have Heather ranked higher, obviously, and we'll get to her in a second. But nevertheless, I think Al is a fantastic player, and I enjoyed him. He's great.
I would have loved to see him in another season following up World Tour that wasn't All Stars. Like if
Yeah,
we got another 22 episode season where
yeah,
even if he gets kind of the same treatment as Heather, he doesn't go very far, but they continue using his character. He goes like middle of the road this time. Like it would have been
yeah.
fun to see more of him, not in All Stars. And I'd honestly argue he's probably one of the characters that gets better treatment in All Stars compared to everybody else he was competing with. Like his ousting is not as bad as a lot of the other players that we get.
Mm-hmm. And literally, if you think about it, they tried to kind of like almost do this archetype with Justin in action, but it was a lot more cringe. And I think this is
Yeah.
like almost like them fixing like an error with that. So, yeah, shout out to Alejandra. All right. And then obviously we have the undisputed champion again for the thousandth time. No surprise here. Heather is our top player, the only player with a perfect score of 42 across the board. She was
Deserved.
number one on every single person's list, and Heather is just her. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when Heather won, and I was like, "There's no way they finally let Heather win a season." Like she never wins in the end. Like she should have won Island, in my opinion. She was solid in action, but she didn't need to win that. And World Tour, she was more than deserving. Like Heather has always been ahead of the game when it comes to manipulation. She's like one of the best strategists in the game, even though she's very messy with her like execution. Like one of the best strategists. In Island, she was a master with the social game, but like obviously her social game sucks the rest of the seasons. But she's also good at comps. Like Heather is such a dominant player because she always thinks of ways to get herself out of a bad situation. Like the first season, she was like at the top most of the game, so that's one thing. But in World Tour, she was very much playing from the bottom of the entire cast and had to work her way up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I really love Heather. She's always going to be one of my favorites, and she is without a doubt like the winner of World Tour. Like this was such a perfect win for her. Like I'm so happy that she won.
Yeah, listen. The only placement that never changed when I was putting my ranking together was Heather and Alejandro in 1 and 2. Like that just felt right to me. Um, Heather, and the thing that makes Heather's win so good isn't just the fact that it feels earned, which I think is missing from a lot of the players that we ranked lower, but it happened exactly when it needed to. It does not make sense for them to have Heather win Island, right? Season 1, that doesn't really make sense, especially for it being like the start of the show, and kind of like the message they're giving out with that first season. It does not make sense for her to win action because she's not as big of a character, but also we're still kind of like, she doesn't get as much character development. She's still not really removed far away from her actions in Island. It doesn't quite make sense yet. Like, they could probably have pieced something together, but there are other characters that are getting their moment to shine here. World Tour feels right. She has met her match in Alejandro. She has sort of a will they, won't they vibe to it, but she also has the competitive edge on here that she is the person that sees through his manipulative bullshit because she has also done her own manipulative bullshit over the years. And she knows, game recognizes game. She is not involved in the messiest part of the season with the love triangle. She's more of like able to take advantage of that and get friends against each other as a result of it. There are many times where we're able to really root for her here. Team Amazon in general is just one of the best teams that we ever get. I would say probably the best team that we get. The trio of Sierra, Courtney, and Heather is so strong. Like I just love that trio. It's such a good group. I love it.
Yeah.
And I think like this is a really good this is her arc is incredible. It's one of the few that, kind of goes haywire in All Stars, but I don't think it takes away from the arc of like what her first 3 seasons are. And like this is the character that they did perfectly here. It's like redemption without her losing her competitive and her nasty side as well.
There you go. Heather, queen of the winners. We need more total drama. This makes me want to watch so much more.
I know. I need more seasons. I'm sorry. Like I miss it so much.
Just for fun, again, just to recap, Heather, number 1, Al, Priya, Duncan, Gwen, Sean, Owen, Lightning, Skylar, Cameron, Wayne, Zoe, Mike, and Beth. This was such a fun podcast. Listen, we need to do best players never to win. I feel like that would be another fun convo.
Yeah.
We could find a whole bunch of things to do.
Yeah, I like the best to never win. What maybe we do like top, what do we do here? 14, maybe 15 best to never win? Same amount of time?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. All right. Great. Yeah. That's our next. Cool. We're ready.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out. And if you're watching this in the future, thank you so much for watching as well. I will check out Disadvantage or Real. I promise. I'm looking for stuff to watch. I'll try it. But thank you guys so much for supporting this podcast as always. If you like what you're seeing, please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow on social media. And also, if you're listening on the audio platforms, like with 5 stars, with 5 stars only. Gia, thank you so much. This has been such a fun podcast. Yes. I always love podcasting with you. What are you up to, and where can people find you?
Well, we will be back soon. So Latanya and I will be back after this next episode to recap episodes 1 and 2 of Survivor 50 on I Don't Know About That. So excited to be talking about Survivor 50. I can't believe we're here after talking about Survivor 50 for
years,
over a year now.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane that we're actually here now, like talking about Survivor 50 in the real time. And I'm also so you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Twitter at Classically Gia for just all my reality TV shenanigans. But I'm also on Substack with Bet on Black. That is my reality TV newsletter. I talk about a lot of different topics, but mostly we'll focus on how Blackness is portrayed in reality TV. And Chappelle and I are working on a complimentary podcast called Bet on Black, where we talk about some of our favorite Black winners / contestants around, like just not just in Survivor, just through reality TV history. So I'm really excited to get that going. We have a lot of stuff to work through, and I'll also be on Recap Kickback, recapping Abbott Elementary, which was on a month break. And Chappelle and I will be back recapping that after this week because we're finally getting the second part of our bi-weekly episode recaps. So very excited to be back soon.
There you go. And if you want to follow what I'm doing, you can keep up with me at 8Ball Bangers on all social media platforms. And I'm still here on Silent Podcast. Like Gia said, she's covering Survivor 50 on our audio. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that. But you can find me every Monday with Ganjo and Cheyenne talking about Fear Factor, House of Fear, to talk about our boy Lance Richards, who is on the season. Such a fun character. And if you come back on Wednesday, me and Lavina Pavel, we are going to be doing a brain steal simulation and fantasy draft of our own Traders cast. So that should be fun. We're going to just do some of that stuff. And I'm playing more Big Brother content. Listen, my favorite content to do is off season. I like recapping, but I love doing fun stuff like this, so keep a lookout, follow us on socials. It is podcasting season, but until next time, how we going? Bye.